Bad boys, ride or die.
Bad boys brand is. It's like good music. It's like good wine.
You are playing Martin's wife.
Teresa would never talk to Marcus the way that Angela talked to Marcus.
You're an icon of your own right.
People tap out too quickly. If you're not ready to put in that work, you're not ready for this business.
You were Tasha Campbell's personal assistant.
I was asking for money all the time, so she figured she'd give me a job.
You assisted Mary J. Blige.
I just love seeing my sisters win.
How do you have the confidence to just keep going back outside?
Keep experiencing yourself through dating.
I am settling for a whole lot less.
Don't take no shit from nobody.
Understanding your boundaries, understanding your deal breakers.
You better.
Actor, director, entrepreneur, and a writer.
And a producer.
And a producer. You really are that girl. Welcome to another episode of Full Transparency with Donnie Wiggins, where we sit down with amazing people who are super gifted in their craft and allow you to get the bird's eye view, fly on the wall conversation that I would normally have with these guests off camera. And today, y'all, I'm so excited. I'm a little bit nervous because I have a girl crush sitting next to me. Bad Boys, Ride or Die is out in theaters everywhere right now, and I have one of the stars, Miss Tasha Smith, sitting here with me. How are you?
Hey, I'm so good, so excited.
You have to be so good. You are on screens everywhere right now. It's so good to see you back, like on the big screen.
I am so happy to be back on the big screen. Honestly, it was like I spent like 4 years directing, so I was away from acting, you know, because it was like I was doing just jobs back to back to back to back to back. And I prayed and I was like, God, I really miss acting, you know, and I knew I had to like make space for it. You know, sometimes in order to make space, you have to say no to certain things. You have to have restraint. You follow what I'm saying? And so I had to say no to some directing to open up space for acting. And then Bad Boys ended up coming, and I'm just so excited to be in this film and to be in this film with icons, you know, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, you know, and when you think about just how nostalgic the Bad Boys brand is, it's like good music, it's like good wine, it's like, you know, those guys, they get better with time. It's just wonderful.
You know, I got a chance to see the red carpet pre-screening of the movie, and I was sitting in that space. You hosted that event, and it was so amazing, sitting in that space with a small group of people, and I was noticing exactly that. Like, everybody, yourself included, is just getting better with time. I was wondering, like, what's the action going to be like? Are they going to be able to pull off the stunts? And when I tell you guys, nailed the movie.
Wasn't it great?
You nailed the movie.
Oh my gosh.
And you're an icon of your own right. I gotta tell you that.
Thank you.
There was a moment that was nostalgic for me in the movie. I'm not gonna give it away. Not too much, but I got to talk about this one because this is kind of like what you're known for wildly in our community. When you were in the movie and you screamed out, Marcus, when you screamed out that name, it did something to me.
Sis, when I first said it, like while I was in the scene, it did something to me. I was like, what movie am I in? Okay, because I was like, Marcus, what? Wait, hold up. Wait, is that his name? No, let me stop.
Did you have to do it again? Or was
No, I didn't, but it reminded me so much of Angela and Why Did I Get Married? But Teresa in Bad Boys is a quieter wife.
Yes.
You know, so although Angela would be like, Marcus, you know,
She
with
did
an
it,
attitude,
y'all. She
right?
did it.
Teresa's more like, Marcus.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She's like a different kind of wife. You know, Teresa would never talk to Marcus the way that Angela talked to Marcus.
Yes. So you took a hiatus a little bit from acting to focus on directing, and then you come back in like the most major way.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Honestly, it gets greater later. It really does. My friend Bevy Smith always says that. It gets greater later. And there's this scripture talks about your latter days would be greater than your beginning. And I think sometimes as we get older, we may be concerned, right, about the opportunities that may come. But if we hold on to our latter days, are greater. And I was thinking about that one day, and I was like, why is that so? Like, what makes later better? And I feel like the things that we're concerned about when we're younger, we are not concerned about it. We almost kind of grow into ourselves and into God, into what God wants us to be and has always wanted us to be, right? When we're younger, we may deal with a lot of insecurities and a lot of fears, and
People
we may
pleasing.
not, right, and we may not really appreciate ourselves, right? But as we get older, we tend to just love ourselves in a deeper way, accept ourselves in a deeper way, not really give a damn what other people say.
That part.
Because sometimes being concerned about how we're perceived and what people think about us can create a little bit of obstacles, boundaries, not boundaries, but more so obstacles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It may block us. It may cause us to be a little afraid to be as outgoing as we could be. You know what I mean?
It dims our light.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't really find my true self until I hit my 40s.
Yeah.
Right. And as my mom would tell it, I probably won't. I'll feel that way again when I hit my 50s.
Honey, wait until you hit your 50s.
Really?
Wait until you hit your 50s.
I can't wait.
I feel younger than ever, and I'm 53.
That is me right now. I'm 45, and I feel like I'm in the best shape.
Honey,
I feel like I'm the cutest.
Honey, I'm fine, honey.
Fine, you hear me?
I'm fine,
Yes,
honey.
You
I'm
said yesterday.
Fine. I was about to say something else, so I was like, I should be saying
No,
that.
say it.
The coochie good. No, let me
First of all,
let me stop.
It gets
no,
better.
let me stop.
It gets better.
But you know what? I think that I'm just loving myself and appreciating myself, which makes everything better.
we find our value.
Yeah,
we find our value.
it's like you don't have the hang-ups you used to have. And I would have never said that 10 years ago.
Because
I
you
would have
have to
never
be-
said that.
Yeah, you have to be so censored and
Yes,
so polished and
yes.
worrying about what everybody else is saying.
Exactly.
And you hit those 40s, y'all, let me tell you, it gets better.
Honey,
You
and
could
when
care
you
less.
hit the 50s,
Tell 'em.
baby, it gets greater.
Ooh, let's talk about how you got this role, though. You are playing Martin's wife, or Marcus's wife, in the film. You have a history of knowing Martin.
Yes.
You were. Did I read this right? You were Tasha Campbell's personal assistant. That's
I
how
was
you
her
got your
assistant back in the day. I mean, well, we were friends. Like, I knew Tasha since I was 16 years old.
Okay.
And then I moved to California. She and her mother really helped me out a lot. And at one point, I think I was so broke and I was asking for money all the time. So she figured she'd give me a job, So I
Okay.
ended up becoming her assistant during the time she was on Martin. I lived with her briefly. I was her assistant it was a short period of time because I wasn't that good.
Okay.
Okay. But yes, and I knew Martin. I knew when Tasha first got the job with Martin, when Tashina got the job. So I knew I was there. I was around a lot, but I had never gotten the opportunity to like be on the show or anything. And I'm not that friend that tries to make my friends hire me. I always
Yeah.
want to earn my position. You know what I mean? I want to work for it, And
But did you know you were a star at that time?
I tell you this, I had hope.
Okay.
Right? I had hope. I had a dream. And when I moved to California, I didn't know when it was going to happen, how it was going to happen. And although I knew Tasha and I knew other people that were in the industry, I felt like I just had to grow. I had to learn, and that one day it would happen. And I wanted to trust God. And I said, I'm not going to go back to Camden because I'd rather stay here and see if what I'm dreaming about really happens. And I feel a lot of times people tap out too quickly, right? And there's a scripture that talks about not to grow weary while doing good. For in due season you shall reap if you faint not. And it's about not quitting and not giving up and staying on path and not allowing yourself to be distracted. It wasn't so much about me knowing I was a star or wanting to be a star. I wanted to do what I loved, and that was tell stories. As an actor, and I used to dream about being a director, but I was so insecure I didn't think it would ever happen. But now I'm doing it all. And it took time. It took time. Moved to California when I was 18.
Wow.
I'm 53, and I feel like I'm just at the height of my career.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
So the Bad Boys, Ride or Die, in theaters right now.
Yes.
The role, were you able to just walk on, get the role because you have relationship?
I auditioned.
You auditioned.
I auditioned. I hadn't acted in so long. Okay.
The Tasha.
Yeah.
The Smith.
Yep.
Auditioned for this role.
Did. I
Why?
sure did. Well, why not? Why not? I mean, some people might think, oh, because I know Will and Martin, I could just call them. I don't think that's right. Honestly, I don't. I don't think it's fair, right? I think that because they're who they are and because of the relationship I have with them, I should audition. And I did, because it was their choice to choose from. I felt like, and even for me as a director, I understand why. I mean, it's such a big movie. You want to get the tone right. You want to get the relationship right, and I feel like if you want something, why not go after it? Why not humble yourself? Why not allow yourself to go through the process? There's always an experience to have when you go through the process.
Yeah, and there's also a reward in knowing that you earned it.
Yeah.
Honestly, not just giving it.
You know what was special about it too? When it came up to audition, I called one of my teachers at my school who used to be a student.
Okay.
Who is now an employee of my school and teaching at my school. And I got him to coach me. So to go to one of my former students who's now a teacher at my school to coach me for something. And when I booked it, I was able to call him and say, we booked it. We got it.
I love that.
Yes.
What's the experience like? I'm seeing all of the promo and all of the silliness that Will and Martin are doing online, and they just seem like the funniest people. Like, you can't keep a straight face. What was your experience on set
they
with
are
them?
the funniest people. I remember one day it was a night shoot, and Will went up and started freestyling. Will Smith. I was like, you are that guy.
You are that guy.
You are that guy. I forgot how he could do that.
Yes.
I forgot. Like, literally, I forgot. And he went in. He was like, it was amazing. And I'm looking at him. I know him, but I'm like a fan.
Yeah.
Just watching him. Bars.
After bar after bar.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
It was brilliant.
Did you find yourself evolving, being in that space with them, like really, really learning how a production this large, because this is your biggest film to date.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
And yes, I did find myself looking and learning, because even just when you think about the action of it all, and those directors are incredible, Bilal and Adi, they're incredibly talented. And I feel like any opportunity as an actor and as a director, when I'm on set, I want to learn, I want to grow. You watch, you learn things. Looking at Will, looking at Martin, looking at their chemistry together, their process. You're learning. Learning.
And then also being on a set like that, you had to be inspired, because thinking about it, you are there from the position of an actor and a director. So you're looking at it through both lenses, like, oh, I can do something with this.
I swear, I was grabbing all the tools
Absolutely.
and techniques that they were using. I was like, how did you execute that? How are you going to do that? And oh, wow, just got a lot of new tools and stuff.
Yeah. Are we going to expect to see you in any other films?
Well, right now you'll see me in a show called Survival of the Thickest.
On Netflix?
Yep, on Netflix. It's our second season.
Okay.
Did the first season. Now I'm doing the second season. And I'll be directing as well. So I'm directing 2 episodes and I'm starring in all the episodes. It's my first time actually directing myself on a series.
How is that?
I don't know yet.
You don't know? Okay.
We'll start in June.
Okay. So you hadn't done any of the episodes yet. I love that. You actually, you mentor, you teach, you have a school.
Yes.
And you develop other actors.
Yes.
And I read some incredible things about you. First of all, what many people may not know is that you assisted Mary J. Blige on her breakthrough film that got her nominated for an Oscar
and Golden Globe.
Yes.
I mean, and Mary is literally one of my best friends. I mean, best friend. And she's so funny because she'd be like, who are you, my friend or my teacher? You know, she's so
Both
funny, right? Exactly. But yes, Mary and I got a chance to work together on Mudbound. And I remember telling her, you're going to get nominated for an Oscar. You're going to get nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
And we put in work.
Yeah.
And she got nominated for an Oscar. Andra Day, who I was able to prep for the Billie
love
Holiday, United States vs. Billie Holiday. She got nominated for an Oscar and she won a Golden Globe. I just love seeing my sisters win.
Yeah.
So anytime I can assist and collaborate with them to empower them to continue to pursue their purpose in the arts, I am all for it.
So what you're really saying, in addition to all of that greatness, is that you really are that girl.
I am.
You are that girl.
I really am.
In front of the scenes, behind the scenes, intricately involved.
I care about us.
Yeah. You know what? And that brings me to something. I want to pull this up because I did not want to get this wrong. There was something that Lee Daniels said that was so powerful.
Really?
About your ability to, your commitment to the Black community. And he said, Tasha's commitment to the work and to our Black community of artists as a whole is next to spiritual.
Oh,
yes.
That is beautiful.
This
you
was
know what's
beautiful.
deep about that is that I believe it's part of my purpose. I really do. Like, my company is called Camden Bridge.
Okay.
I'm from Camden, and I feel like I'm a bridge for a lot of people. And what's so deep about a bridge is that you can drive on it, you walk on it, you'll walk over it, you sometimes spit on it. Sometimes, you know, it takes a lot more humility to be a bridge, to be a part of someone else's journey. But it's the biggest blessing in the world to see someone else eat, have a career, have purpose, have legacy. Their families are taken care of. They're taken care of because you chose to be a bridge to help them get from one place in their career to the next.
Yeah.
I feel like that's God's work, whether it's me as a teacher, whether it's me as a director. I feel like it's the biggest honor in the world, even more so than my own career. Like, I know, okay, I can create opportunity for myself being dedicated to my art, my craft. I believe work's gonna always come to me, period. It's just how it is, right? But to be able to do that for someone else, that's a blessing.
Yeah, you have to sit back and look at it and just really take it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a real blessing. And I wish that we would understand that. If we understood the blessing in being a blessing.
Serving others.
Do you understand?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, to me, it's a high calling.
It is a high calling, and you are answering it very, very well. Hey, CEO Donnie Wiggins here, and I am so excited to announce my new mentorship group is dropping. You may have already heard about it, but I wanted you to hear it from the horse's mouth, directly from me. My new mentorship group, Actionable CEO, for entrepreneurs who are interested in professional growth, personal growth, and financial growth. You want to learn from me. Y'all have been asking for this for the last 3 years, and I have finally brought Actionable CEO back to serve you every single week. Direct mentorship from me. You will also hear from other people who are in my community that I believe will be greatly impactful to you. You're going to get behind the scenes. We're going to be spending some time together live. This is not pre-recorded. This is live mentorship. So if you are an entrepreneur and you want to be connected, feel connected, you want to elevate your brand, you want to elevate your life, you want to elevate your level of success, Actionable CEO is for you. ActionableCEO.com. See you there. I'm so excited about the movie that you have out, Bad Boys. You guys, again, if you are tuning into this episode a little later, Bad Boys Ride or Die is out. It's in theaters right now. Like, what's the whole process? So you've released this movie. Like, what does life look like for you right now? It's got to be a whirlwind of just everything happening.
It's more work, honestly. It's we're doing this, and then I'm off to film the TV show.
Okay.
I'm off to film the TV show, and I'm directing at the top of the season. So now it's about the work, you know what I mean? I get to play dress up and have fun, right? But now it's time to go back to work, period. It's about being a good steward over what's in front of you. You know, that's what life is like. Like, I'm having fun, but the work doesn't stop. You know what I mean? You got to know when it's a time to play, a time to work, you know? And so after, this is work.
Yeah.
You know, this is work.
Yeah.
You know, telling people to go out and see the movie is work. When I think about Martin and Will, they are all over the world.
Yeah.
They understand what being movie stars are.
Crazy work ethic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about the work. If you're not ready to put in that work, you're not ready for this business. You know, some people want to be famous, but there's a price to pay. That's responsibility. And it's called responsibility. It's not just about being on Instagram and this and that. The price to pay is responsibility.
Yeah. Speaking of sacrifices that you had to make to become the Tasha Smith, the version of you that you are today, like, what are some of those things that you had to say, you know what? Not for me, not right now.
Sometimes you can't go to every party. You can't hang out with your friends. You can't travel. Like, sometimes it's lonely. Like, sometimes it gets lonely, you know, because you're like in this matrix of responsibility. So you may not be able to do what everyone else is doing because you gotta work. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it looks like. That's why when you do get a chance to hang out, whether it's with a partner or your friends, you know, you try to go out and have a really good time because you know it's the time and season for all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I noticed that at the premiere, at the red carpet premiere of Bad Boys, you shouted out a lot of people who were really close to you being in that room.
Yes.
And I appreciated that so much. I admired that about you so much because it's like, here's your big moment, one of many, right? Here's your big moment, and you have the closest people to you sharing in that moment. Like, sitting in that screening, and there's a small room of invited people there. So everyone around you in that room, they're fans of you, they're family, they are supporters, they love you. Sitting in that room and watching people watch you on display. How does that feel to you?
You know what? I just want to make my friends proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, seeing Brat, you know, and her wife, and knowing that they were coming, and I mean, even for her to be like, I'm proud of you, like, that means everything because I've known her for so long. You know what I'm saying? And when your friends, your family, your sisters, you know, when they come and just say they're proud of what you're doing, that means more than anything. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And just being able, for us, it's iron sharpens iron, for us to be able to celebrate one another. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sitting back looking at Brat as she's having her baby and getting married and get, you know, doing Dish Nation, all that. I'm like celebrating. I'm celebrating Eva. I'm celebrating Mona Scott. I'm celebrating Treva Williams. I'm celebrating, you know, Carlos. You know, I'm just celebrating everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you've been around for a long time and we're still just doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's wonderful.
Yeah. And
Russell Hornsby.
oh, I'm such a fan.
I am too.
I was so happy to see him in that room.
I've been a fan of Russell Hornsby for 20 something years.
Yeah.
Him and Nicole, okay? And when I directed the pilot of BMF, and I was able to call Russell Hornsby to play Charles, he was the first person I cast.
People don't know that you are a director on BMF.
I directed the pilot of BMF.
Yes.
Set the tone of that. I directed 3 episodes and executive produced the whole first season.
Wow.
So the first season of BMF, I directed the pilot, I directed the second episode, and I directed the finale.
Yeah. You know what I love about you? So when you're an actor, people expect that your work is visible, right? Like out front. And if it's not, it's like, oh, she's not doing anything. But you are behind the scenes on so many projects. And I love that you are still here. You're still relevant. You're literally just getting started in a new direction. But I have to ask you, if you had to pick a preference, where do you like being most?
Oh, sis, that's hard. That's like
I
saying which
know.
kid do you like
Ooh.
most. It's like if you had 2 kids, right? It's something special about both of them. You follow what I'm saying? You know, and you love both of them.
Okay.
You know, you couldn't say I love this one more than I love that one.
Yeah.
You know, one kid might take a certain amount of energy as opposed to another one. You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
Like even with myself and my twin, I know my mother had to work on my ass more than she had, work on Sidra because I was loud and I was out there, feisty, right? I love both. Directing requires a different level of focus and energy and time, right?
Yeah.
Like the days are longer as a director. The prep time, you're prepping way before. The scouts are treacherous sometimes. You know what I mean? You're the first one there. You're the last one to leave. Acting is almost like a vacation, but not because it's still hard work, but you're only focused on you telling the story. You know what I mean? Everything else is not my job. And even when I'm on set as the actor and I see things happening and I be like, ooh, not my problem. All I have to worry about is me.
Me.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
I don't have to worry about the picture cars and the production design and what color the paint is on the table or what the floors are doing or the blah, blah, blah. Whatever. What
are
the
my
shots.
lines?
I don't have to do any of it.
Yes. So you are actor, director, also an entrepreneur.
And a writer.
And a writer.
And a producer.
And a producer. You are all the things. Being a woman who is the talent and the businesswoman, we are in a space right now just in the world where, there's creators and content creators and influencers, and you've got people who have the talent and they're running a business. How are you balancing or managing being the businesswoman and the talent simultaneously?
How am I balancing? One, having great people that work with you. You feel me? Like that is the key. Having the right people that you are working with and collaborating with. And that's probably one of the biggest things for me because you can't do it by yourself. You need the right help to be able to do the vision, and that's been a blessing for me thus far, like being able to collaborate with the right people, honestly, that's a balance. And having boundaries.
That's a big one.
Like you have to have boundaries. Like you can't let people distract you. You have to understand what your purpose is and what your calling is. Because if not, you could spread yourself too thin and you won't have the energy for the things that God has called you to do, and you'll burn yourself out. You know what I mean? So boundaries, focus, being very specific and intentional about everything, is important. And having boundaries and saying no when you need to say no, and don't worry about offending everyone. Because you can't say yes to everything. And you can't please everybody.
Yeah, and you mean that.
You just can't.
You cannot. It's so freeing when you understand what your boundaries are.
Yeah.
And you're confident enough to stand on them.
Yeah.
Right? Just
Yeah.
as a woman, and especially as a woman in this industry,
Yeah.
in this business.
And keep your mind and heart healthy. That's important. Like really keeping your mind and heart healthy. You know, cultivate healthy relationships. Don't let no man burn you out and make you feel bad about yourself. Don't take no shit from nobody.
Yeah, I'm an advocate of that.
Yeah.
Listen, I get asked sometimes like, well, Donnie, how do you look younger than what you really are? I said, honey, I don't let anybody's son stress me out.
No, period. I mean serious, honey, because when giving you the best that I got goes wrong, listen, we can't do it. Don't let nobody's son stress you out.
Don't let anybody's son stress you out, and bounce back very quickly.
Honey, listen, you better
bounce back very quickly.
You better. You better.
You absolutely better.
Okay, don't stay in that ditch too long, honey. No. Like, let the comeback be quick, honey.
And big.
The reset, honey.
Big.
But you know, we're resilient.
We are.
We're resilient. And you got to understand, and honestly, and you also got to understand your value. Because I feel like with some of us women, when things don't go right relationship-wise, we feel like it's us.
Oh,
right?
Lord, yes.
But why does that have to be the case? It's like one woman had told me about her guy cheating. Right. And I said, oh, he didn't think he was good enough for you. And she looked at me.
Hello.
She was like, he cheated on me. I said, yeah, because he didn't think he was good enough for you.
Right.
Because to me, that behavior, it doesn't speak anything about me.
Not the other way around.
No, it's you needing to feel better about yourself.
And I love that you say that, because let social media have their way, and you would think that men are the only prize.
Yeah.
And I look at the comments sometimes at the women who are really buying into that idea. And I'm like, ladies, we gotta get back to remembering what we bring to the table and our values.
Honestly, really, honestly, like we have to. And if we understood our value, we would have more boundaries and we wouldn't take so much shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you create bad behavior. Honestly.
You do.
Like, you really do. And a lot of times women be like, well, why he keep doing that? Well, because you keep letting him.
You keep letting him.
You know what I'm saying?
The sorries are working.
Listen, the sorries are working. And sorries come with 7 more demonic sorries. Like, literally, once you get delivered from one sorry, you keep opening up the door to more sorries. They gonna keep coming in, and they gonna get stronger and more powerful. And then before you know it, it's gonna be very difficult to get out of that sorry space that you're in. And if you understood your value, you would probably be quicker to walk away from bullshit. Like, for me at this point in my life, I'm not spinning the block on bullshit.
You better say that.
You just can't keep spinning the block on bullshit. You really can't. And you have to have self-respect, and you have to have boundaries.
Yes.
You just do.
Yes.
And you gotta value yourself. If you don't value yourself, trust and believe a man won't value you.
And that is why.
And you gotta stay having hope and faith in God.
Yes.
You really do. Like, you can't think that the best is the one that's treating you like shit.
Tasha.
That's the best?
That's the best.
Are you kidding me?
Not the best.
Honey.
Yeah.
It is not the best.
And it's so hard to see, and you probably feel the same way, being a woman of strength, right? Understanding your boundaries, understanding your deal breakers, and witnessing this in other people. It's just really hard to see women devalue themselves in a way to just take anything.
I know.
Just to be accepted, just to be in companionship, just to get the opportunity and the role. I wish I had more time with you, because I'm sure that even translate into your professional life.
It does, because, and that's the thing with some women, some of us, if we allow ourselves to be broken like that, it will fall and filter into other areas of our lives, right? It'd be harder to get up in the morning, harder to go to work, harder to be positive, harder to be happy, all of that kind of stuff, right? But I also feel that when it comes to relationship, a lot of us women are losing faith in that. And I believe that we got to keep hope alive. And we got to trust God for our life. And there's a scripture that says that he who has begun a good work in us will complete it. You know, I believe God is all about companionship and happiness. And we just got to continue to not grow weary while doing good.
Yes, ma'am.
For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Like, don't stop dating. Don't stop being outside just because you may have had a relationship that did not work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Continue to open yourself up and have faith and have hope and date and experience.
Did I tell you my business?
No.
Because is she telling me my business? Is she putting me in? I'm like, are you talking directly to me right now?
Maybe I am.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
love
I'm saying? But what disappoints me sometimes is when women have a hard time in relationship and then they choose to just shut down.
Yes.
And not be out there.
Not believe
right?
anymore. Oh, I'm not dating anymore. I'm done with that.
And
Girl, get right back outside.
Dating is experiencing life and learning yourself in dating, right? Just because one relationship didn't work doesn't mean you should stop the experience of getting to know yourself through relationship.
That's it.
Like, you really will get to learn things about yourself through relationship. I am enjoying the dating process.
Are you outside, Tasha?
I'm outside like
in these
a motherfucker.
streets.
I am in these streets, girl.
In these streets.
I am outside.
Listen, my friends will say to me, because, you know, we're always in love. Like, it's always something like, girl, he might be it. My friends will say to me, like, how do you have the confidence to just keep going back outside? And you nailed it just in what you just said. It's not even about them. It's not about the him for me. I am learning so much about me. I'm liking myself more. Yeah. I'm respecting myself more. I am settling for a whole lot less.
Yeah.
But literally, I have this journal where I document what I've learned from any engagement with anybody, like anybody that I've dated for a period of time, things that I should have seen earlier, things that I thought I was into that aren't necessarily important to me, and things that are absolute must-haves. And I love going through that journal and reading because I can kind of see me painting out the vision for my life.
Yes. And you want to know what's so interesting is that when you say no, right? And when you allow yourself to cut the bullshit quicker, you get to the place you're supposed to be faster. Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like women stay in bad relationships too long.
Yes.
So the recovery time is more difficult. You follow me? But you'll feel more proud of yourself when you could walk away from something a lot faster.
Yeah.
You'd be like, ooh, there was a time back in the day where I would have stayed in this thing for like 2 or 3 years and then would have been burnt out.
And now it's instant.
Burnt out. But when you could walk away faster, your recovery is faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And your joy comes quicker.
It does.
You know, and all of that. So I don't know why we went into the area of relationship while we're talking about bad boys.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
But I'll just say this to a lot of the women out there: to be encouraged, to have faith in God, to have hope. Don't give up. Keep experiencing yourself through dating. Like, just stay hopeful. Stay hopeful. Don't stay in a bad situation for too long. Don't stay too long.
Yeah. I believe that posture, Tasha, is why you are the Tasha Smith. I believe it's why you have the energy that you have. You have amazing energy. I also believe it's why opportunities like Bad Boy found you.
Oh, thank you.
You didn't just see that there was an audition coming up. Like, it was very intentional, and opportunities like that found you because of who you are and the way that you have trained and shaped your brain. And having seen the movie, you were a complete asset. I believe that people who go and see it are going to be so pleased to see you on camera in that role. And everybody, like, look, as soon as you see it, come back to this episode and comment if you felt that nostalgia that I felt when she yelled out Marcus. Let us know. Bad Boys, Ride or Die, in theaters literally everywhere.
Yes.
We are so proud of you.
It was very lovely talking with you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Lovely to talk to you too. Thank you so much for stopping by. Anytime you want to come back, let's have girl talk. But right now, let's go see Bad Boys, Ride or Die, and come back here and let us know what your thoughts were about it. We look forward to everything that's to come from you.
Thank you, sis.
For sure.
All right.
Good stuff.